You know what I'm saying? So I said, okay. I made some phone calls on my side. We're talking grassroots now. We're talking grassroots. We're not talking calling up big companies, and we're talking like folk make a phone call, and they send out some scouts, and they'll go throughout the whole half of the country, positioning themselves to be able to buy a whole season's crop.
Okay. Wow.
Of the, you feel me?
Yeah.
But on the other person's side, it didn't fall through. On our side, it was cool. In other words, we had the goods, but on the other side, that particular individual, it didn't fall through. So the point I'm trying to make is chiming in on what y'all brothers are talking about. You know, having a network, having the ability to actually foster something like that. That's what we're talking about here. Those are power moves. That's what we're talking about. That's the kind of leverage we're talking about having, that we have access to if we're working together like a team, like team players, like real talk. Like we could just with Rude. Now Rude, y'all brothers are in the Khalij.
Yeah, that's it.
Y'all been there y'all are there.
Yeah. Dude, what they do is for a lot of items that are items that come straight out of Cambodia and stuff like that, what happens is that you have certain companies that have their company go straight on in, and in those countries they have somebody that's already set up to sell to those people in those countries. Okay. And so what they do in a lot of these countries is that they make it to this is what they was doing in Sudan too, because I had a sale like what you're talking about on leather. Okay. And so people buying like skins, just tan skins, just they ain't got no color on them, they just freshly, because Harun know that every Eid, okay, after the slaughter, all of the skins, a man comes through and basically buy the skins for less than $1. He takes them, cleans them, take them to the tannery, and then the skins are set up and they ready to be, you know what I mean? And so, but no one can import and export skins from out of the country. All right? Because the government consolidated that market so that the skins get cleaned and they get tanned, but then we come and we buy them, meaning the government. And so the guy that's gonna come from out of the country, he comes and he get it from them. Same thing they did to gum Arabic. And so when you in countries that have more freedom, that haven't had the kind of dictatorship like Sudan has had, then you have more access to that type of stuff. And this is why some of those other countries are more viable. They have more opportunity, because Sudan, for the most part, hasn't had that kind of opportunity, for the simple fact that Harun knows the government
that's what I'm saying. That's what I was trying to get to,
stronghold on it.
Yeah. If I go to an African country, right, I want to know, first of all, what is the opportunity? Like, I already know domestically on the ground, on the grassroots, there's certain, like what you were right about is, us coming as a group of Americans, let's say, for instance, we're Americans in Ghana, we got connections in Gambia throughout, that's one side of it. Like, how do we unify on a small scale, right? And work on our behavior and our character and our upliftment morally. So morals, yes, in terms of bringing ourselves up to a level of respect that everybody will respect us, like as a tribe, as a small tribe of people, you know what I mean, that we are already known for. But at the same time, you know, I'm coming over from Africa. I'm coming over from America. We're all coming over from America, and we are actually putting in effort in another country that now is willing to offer us what? That's the question, Ashkari. What are they willing to offer?
Okay, I agree with you, but
We don't need no handouts now.
Yeah,
we don't need no handouts.
what
They
I'm
willing to give
saying-
us, what they willing to offer to make
What
it
I'm
easy
saying
for
is
both
that-
of us.
Look at what I'm saying is that once you do what you do, if you doing it, guess what? They gonna be lining up to partner with you. So you ain't.
So I have to prove myself. That's what you mean. We have to prove ourselves first.
Look at if I arrive, look at if I arrive, okay, and I say that I can do so and so and so and so, but I ain't got.
I'm not trying to help them. No, see,
No.
my thing is I stand on the line now. I'm from America. So I could be like, why I gotta go over to Africa
No.
and help them do what? Or
Okay,
ask them for what? I don't gotta ask them for nothing.
Say you don't go. Say you don't.
Then I don't go.
Okay.
That's the problem.
No, that's not a problem. Say you don't go and you still want to do business. Okay. If I have something, okay, and I have raw goods, and you have nothing to bring to the table, then
Whoa.
it's
Then why do I go to Africa? I can go to any other country in the world. That's what you call negotiating.
no.
So what you're talking about is true. It's negotiating.
You have
So-
to have something to bring to the table, brother. That's the only thing I'm saying.
What do they have? See, what I mean to say, when I can say I have technology, transfer of technology, I have money, right? I have political resources, right? I have Black Lives Matter. We can lobby on your behalf. We can make sure your political situation over there in
Black
Ghana.
Lives Matter, but Black Lives Matter is not
I'm giving you an example. I'm just giving that. I just threw that in there.
Yeah, that's
The thing is, they are a mouthpiece. They are a mouthpiece that can speak on my behalf. Why is the Chinese using, example, why are the Chinese using, what's this rapper's name from Senegal, but he's from New York? What's his name?
Akon.
Why doesn't Akon tell the communities in America that my financial support to go back into Africa is coming from China?
He does say
That's
that.
keeping it real.
He does
Huh?
say that. He does say
Right,
that.
but China, look at their track record. Are they good for African people? No. They're not good for African people. They're not good for Black people at all. I mean, my experience, I've dealt, with all due respect, I'm talking about.
Okay, let me say what the brother said. Okay, and the reason why, okay, they are not good for most African leaders is because African leaders, okay, are looking for handouts a lot of times.
I gotta, Ascari,
Instead
I'm
of,
gonna give you the best example why I'm saying. I'll let you say what you
look,
say.
instead of, because I worked at a Chinese refinery, okay? I worked at a Chinese refinery in Sudan. So I'm telling you how that stuff goes down. You can demand from them, and you have the power to demand from them if you know how strong your position is. But if you don't know how strong your position is, and you weak in your constitution with how you demand, Akon is already up here.
Right.
So he don't need a group. But what does he say? He says, "This is what I got. Okay, this is what I got. Okay, this is what I want to do. Okay." And the point I'm making, I'm glad you mentioned him. The point I'm making is that once you bring something to the table and you have equity and you have backing, you can do whatever you want to do. And he made the point clear. He said, China has been fair with me. Why? Because he don't take the money that they give him. And he ain't throwing lavish parties, acting like a fool. He's doing exactly what the money was given to him for. He cuts a check, he does what he's supposed to do, he returns. People benefit, okay? Why does he have that discipline? He got that discipline because he went through the same thing you RZA, and I went through. They, on the other hand, okay, when someone hasn't had the ability to deal with millions of dollars, because they ain't never really did that before, and all of a sudden he cut a deal, and then the family and the tribe come up and say, "You rich," or like Dave Chappelle said, "I'm rich." You know what I'm saying? So what they start doing, they start blowing money. They start blowing money, and so you know what happens when you start blowing money and you don't count. What happens when you go back and you start looking at what you're supposed to have done? You're like, oh man, and now you in trouble. And so, because of these mismanaged funds and not looking at how much your interest rate is and all this stuff right here, you could set up, if you got strong foundation, you ain't even gotta have no interest rate. You can have a slight partnership without interest rates, because you got to come strong at them, and they respect that when you strong. But if you weak, they're gonna do what they doing in Africa, seizing bridges, seizing roads, because these leaders are not even reading the fine print. So I don't condemn a person who comes in without a gun to colonize you and don't give you something and you're supposed to benefit from it. Okay, I condemn the person that takes that deal, okay, and doesn't use, he uses his greed to rip off his own countrymen. You know what I'm saying? Akon said, these people, they've been fair with me, because they asked him to speak about Chinese. He said, they've been fair with me. You know what I'm saying? And why are they fair with him? They're fair with him because he got his own money. And and if something happens, he's going to say, oh, we lost? Okay, here, boom, y'all take it. Why? So that I don't go in the red. Okay? All right? Now, you got one man. This is the problem right here. You got one man lighting Africa. That's disrespectful. Man, that's just wrong, because it goes against everything that we're talking about right here. Okay, and so you got government officials that have the power to do more than him, and they ain't did nothing. They in debt. They're losing part of the country to these people. So do I blame the Chinese like we've been doing, or do I hold the leaders accountable? Because if they're not fit to lead, they shouldn't be leading. Get them
I hold the leaders accountable.
Yeah.
I hold the leaders accountable. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well. See, I was the investment consultant with the Western Barghazal state of South Sudan under the governor Rizk Zakaria Hassan, and we brought in a company called Qingdao Carozo, which is out of Qingdao, China, and actually they were really bandits. Okay, I was with Osama. His father funded the whole entire thing with the government of South Sudan. Even the government of South Sudan put up X amount of money for us to fly them over, because they're saying that they're direct investors. And actually, the governor of Western Barghazal state in South Sudan was an economist. He graduated in economy. Okay, so he was we traveled to Singapore together, seven days. We stayed in Singapore with our partners from Singapore that were bringing in investment from Singaporeans as well as people from India. So the government was very, very, on behalf of on behalf of Silvercare, the government gave Rizk Zakaria, his state minister, Minister of Finance, and Minister of Legal Affairs, gave them full mandate to sign on behalf of any concession or any type of project in terms of investment. And their priority was not for oil and gas. The priority was for agriculture. But that was where we reached to with Singapore, and it was a disappointment. But before that, Of course, you're right. When I went to Juba and I went to Western Bargazal State, they had no infrastructure for healthcare nor education. But they were pretty much, and of course, there was a lot of corruption, you know, from even the central bank or the of South Sudan and the Minister of Finance. There were conflicts because there were different tribal groups or there were different parties that were ran by specific groups. So you had tribes within tribes that had power sharing. And then you had people from the National Congress Party that was also infiltrated in the politics as a political party in South Sudan, as well as SPLA North that also had influence in the politics of the North because of the positive things that John Garang was doing with Hassan Bashir at that time to make it one new Sudan. So the first place we went to was Qingdao, China. We got the mandate and we went to Qingdao, China. We were invited there for 7 days to our partner from Singapore. And then when we got there, we came across this government/business Chinese. And this is from Qingdao. So Qingdao is a little bit more up north near Japan, near Korea. So they do a lot of business and trade between those two countries that I just mentioned. When we finally, so many preconditions were put in front of us in order for them to say that they're going to invest in South Sudan, specifically the government of Western South Sudan, because based on the laws of South Sudan, each state can seek out its own investment. So they had the right to do that. Mm. So what happened was we took a challenge. I met Osama. We went down from the North Sudan. We took Cedric, which was from Singapore, and we were all representatives for those so-called Chinese businessmen. Mm. And once we got, I think, a mandate, which I still hold to this day, that we were, a contract was signed, and it was signed by the state, what do they call it? It's the state senate. I forgot what it was called, but the parliament. Yes, the state parliament, right? Which was a law. It's considered a law till this day for all its concessions. It signed off all its concessions from telecommunications to gold, whatever. And then they also have, what do you call it? Reports or studies that was done from the satellite, from Japan, from Singapore, from I think from Spain, all these countries. Anyway, what I noticed out of all of it, they promised to do a master plan, the Chinese. What their ultimate goal was, overall, was to get money from the Exim Bank of China based on contracted projects that authorized them and gave them full concession to build airports, IT, everything. Wow. And with this money, take it from the Chinese Import-Export Bank and never do anything in Africa. They steal the money, give it to the government officials, and nothing was going to get built. And if it did get built, it's built half-ass. Excuse my vernacular. Mm. So when we came to find out their plot, because we paid, Mr. Nabil Subi paid for 16 tickets, round trip. And at the same time, we got the visas from Nairobi. We had to get visas we got visas already for them from South Sudan. The government of South Sudan gave them visas, but they needed a visa from Kenya. And you can get a visa on arrival as a Chinese. The Beijing government says, no, we will not give them. We don't need copies. We need the original copy of the actual visa. So my partner from Singapore, he flew from Kenya, from Nairobi, all the way to Beijing to pick them up and get them all on board and bring them back at the same time to Kenya. And then from Kenya, we went from Kenya to Juba and Juba to Western Bargazal State, all on our cost. And we hosted them. We spent money like a hell. But the attitude of them they were bandits. They were exploitive people, but they had the money and they had the political wealth and power. And when we was there eating with them for 7 days in Qingdao, okay, I never witnessed people who can devour anything in their food habits. So based on what I saw personally, Ascari, I saw how they ate anything on the plate. And when they said when they go to Africa, they want to try the donkey. They want to eat donkey meat. So how can I bring these? And then on our way, we went to Kenya. On our way, when they arrived to Kenya, we have a very, very strong Muslim political business family, Rahmani, and his wife, that's also from Tanzania. I don't want to go too far deep into that, but they welcomed us. We hosted them through our connections that we have from them. And then there was one Nigerian. He was a very wealthy Nigerian that was connected to them in the business. And he warned us and was talking so rude and nasty about these Chinese people. And I was saying, what's wrong with this guy? But what I came to find out, that they are just bandits on a political area, and they're real business people, but they were here to exploit us. Our partner from Singapore, he caught wind of that. We closed the relationship with them, and we apologized to the government of South Sudan, and we brought them to Singapore for investment there. That's my experience. I'm not saying that all Chinese are all that way, but all I'm trying to say is, Ascari and Rizza 786 is, after all of that, I showed Rizik Zakaria Hassan, the governor of Western Bar Ghazal State. I showed him all of that. We performed to so much of a magnitude to show our capability and our network of people that we can bring to the table to invest into their country. I told him, listen, Rizik, I need you to write me another letter geared towards my people to bring investment from the USA. Give me that same type of power that you gave to the Chinese and the Singaporeans. He told me, no, I can't do it. Total disrespect. And it burnt me to this day. I'm so, broken because of that, out of our history. So it was like another bite. They bit me and brought my ancestors over to America. Now I come back and I get bit again. So it's not that I'm asking anything from them. What do you want me to have a connection with you? What are you going to do for me and my people? What are you offering? What are you welcoming us to do? This is what I need to know. Because otherwise I can take it to Spain, I can take it to the Arab Gulf, I can take it to anyone else who's willing to respect me on who I am and where I come from and what my plight is. Sorry, Ascari, I just had to get it out there.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
Because I'm talking for us, bro. It's us.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's my little experiences, brother. You know what I mean? And I've had a lot of it. When you talked about food and beverage, do you know that's what I was doing? I was exporting. The last export I did was 5 containers from USA. 5 containers of snack food items, edible, what do you call it? Things that disposable items. We call it fast-moving consumer goods.
Yeah, perishable good items.
Yeah, perishable items. So I'm going to send you my plan, because what you're talking about, grassroots, it will be helpful for me that my brothers from all African-American brothers that are already having connections in the African continent or anywhere in the world. That's the network. That's where the power really lies. And I think that's where you mentioned that, Ascari Abdul-Wahid, from the ground. That's where the strength is.
That's where the strength is, because if we, I'm down with getting with officials and so forth like that, but I don't see myself getting with people that without having our own first, because in order for us to receive, like you said, he broke you when he said that. In order for that not to happen, we got to have all our own, and so that like I said, the story with the nation, with West Africa, it doesn't. If they roll with us or don't roll with us, we don't care.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
We already.
But the point, that's where the romanticism comes from. I don't need that romanticism.
Yeah, that's what I said. We gotta have our own. Gotta have our own.
Right.
Yeah.
And just the message, I want to be very clear. We're not just drug dealers and came up from Malcolm X, he started that way. But there's a lot of people who are not just Michael Jacksons, Mike Tysons, and all these sports. And, we're not just thriving that way anymore. We got some real people who have money and it's really having financial wealth in America. It's beyond numbers. I mean, we have what it takes. We have a lot to offer. That's the problem. They don't know what we have to offer, and we don't have to go down and show them and prove them. Let them get on YouTube and Google that up. Or let us display that and show them, no, this is who we are. So the more we're international, and the more, like you saying, Escardi, from the grassroots, we showing them on the smallest level. So, I think that's the best way. Like, we got to start, like you say, you got to start small, get in there, get our hands rolled up, take what's ours, we own it, there it is. And we lead the way by example.
Got to get something in hand. Yeah.
I got you, Escardi.
Yeah, we just need, we gotta have, and so my whole position, like Brother Rizza is saying, with collateral, because what allows you to make deals is that you gotta have something, you gotta have some collateral, and even a bank in America will back you. Okay? You don't need no assistance. You don't need no
facts. Facts.
You go ahead and you get a house in America. You can go ahead and you can put that up, okay, along with some money that's in the bank, and do you a major deal. You know what I mean?
Big brother.
A major deal.
Chiming in on that. Right? You got dealers, right? Who, because the bank is the investors. That is the investor. Your credit line, that's the investor right there.
Yeah.
You got dealers who have credit lines up to $1 million.
Yeah.
So when they're at the auction, their pockets are deep because they have the credit line. I mean, you got lower end dealers that, got like 200,000-300,000 credit line.
Yeah.
Auction financing.
Yeah.
I mean, you can make moves when you're not dealing with anybody who's shady, people who want to back out, people who want to,
you're dealing with a bank.
You're dealing with a bank.
Yeah.
You're dealing with a bank.
Yeah.
You feel me? So, just trying
to.
But
There are in America. There's some of the best venture capitalists in the world you find in the United States. So I think a lot of times, if you have the technology, you have the goodwill, you have the ideas, people pay for that. People see that as a value. Like if there's something that you're bringing to the table that can enhance it, like example, Kanye finally got Adidas to believe in him with his Yeezys. So he's already brought what is this company called, Adidas, up to a higher level, because they believe I don't think he spent any money. I'm sure he did. But what he brought to the table, what did he bring to the table? He brought his confidence, he brought his vision, and he brought his
brand. His brand.
He brought his brand. And they jumped on that, and they just catapulted to a higher level. So there's a lot of Americans.
But your brand,
old school American, groups and companies,
but your
that
brand,
are looking for innovative people like us, that we can't get to that level. But what we bringing to the table?
You're missing one point here, though. I agree with you, but you're missing one point. And Rizza called it out, is that everything that we're doing right now is about brand. You know what I'm saying? And so today's market is about your brand. Thank you once again here at the Bowtie Chronicles. If you like the footage, please hit the like button, please share, and stay tuned for our Zoom discussion on the 17th. Thank you.